G'day, Shane Dowling here from the website and YouTube channel Kangaroo Court of Australia. I'm with Jimmy Dowling, and yes, he is my uncle. And we're going to discuss, there's been an adjournment. Jimmy was charged with a hate crime, the new hate crime in Queensland a couple of months ago. And there's been an adjournment, so we're just going to discuss that. Then we'll go back and discuss the original charge briefly. So, Jimmy, you had an adjournment. When was that, last week?
Yeah, last Thursday I went to court and they adjourned it till December. There was going to be adjournment anyhow, but only a brief one. I was supposed to go to court shortly after that for the trial, but the prosecutor told the magistrate that there was 20 odd other people who were charged with the same thing, and he was under the understanding it was being taken to the High Court, and that people would try and adjourn all the cases until the High Court made a decision. So I agreed then that we could adjourn it till December, which sounded good, months away. And so a whole bunch of us are going back on December 2nd to see what happens.
Yeah, we were discussing
course.
that and trying to work out what was happening. And I did a bit of quick research based on what you told me. You received a copy of the constitutional notice that's sent out to all attorney generals.
I was shown it by the prosecutor, yes, but I haven't. I didn't get my own copy, no.
So that's something they file. For people who don't know, if you're going to argue a constitutional defence, in this case, they're arguing it's covered by the implied freedom of political communication, so therefore the law is invalid. If you're going to do that, you file what's called a notice of a constitutional matter, where every Attorney General in every state and territory is notified, and give them the opportunity to intervene and argue themselves one way or another. Quite often, when it's in the lower courts, most of them, and quite often none of them, intervene. But as it works its way up, say for the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court, you'll get a couple who might intervene, and once it gets to the High Court as well. Now, no one's actually had a trial yet, so we're trying to work out whether they could take it straight to the High Court. And I came across Section 40 of the Judiciary Act 1903. You can apply to have a pending matter removed from a lower court directly to the High Court. The process is known as removal. However, it's only in exceptional circumstances they will accept it, typically reserved for constitutional interpretation, which this case is, substantial questions of public importance. Well, it's arguable this matter is as well, because there's other states sort of planning on or considering bringing in the new hate speech laws themselves. So it could potentially be removed to the High Court, but it's very rare. The normal process is that you do what I say. You file a notice of a constitutional matter, you go have your hearing, you win or lose, then you appeal, or potentially the other side appeals. Then you file another notice of a constitutional matter, notifying all the states again that you're appealing and you're still arguing that same constitutional scenario. So that's where we're trying to work out where we're at. And it sounds like to me someone's probably filed a removal application, and that's why you've been adjourned. Whether that is the case or not, we don't actually know. It might just be a situation where someone's filed a notice of a constitutional matter, and that itself has the prosecutors have decided to adjourn matters until that's finalised. Is that how you see it, Jimmy?
Oh, yeah. I'm not aware of all those legalities myself, but yeah, certainly I know it's going to be adjourned until something's decided in relation to the High Court appeal one way or the other. That's all I'm aware of.
Now, can we cover your original charge again? Because last time we did an interview, the audio wasn't very good. So can you go through your original charge and what happened at Boeing again?
Sure. Well, a week after the law was introduced, Liam Parry was arrested. Within a few hours of the law being introduced, he was speaking outside Parliament with a group of, I think it was Students for Palestine. So a week later, we were at Boeing. We've been going to Boeing for the last over 2 years. Every Wednesday, Boeing make missiles and fighter jets and attack helicopters, etc. And they supply Israel with massive amounts of these. In fact, soon after October 7th, when the Hamas killed 1,000 people, the Israel fast-tracked 1,000 missiles to Boeing immediately. Boeing fast-tracked 1,000 missiles to Israel, and they were very important in the total destruction and genocide that's been happening in Gaza, the whole place being levelled by missiles such as these, and 50 to 100,000 people being slaughtered. So we continued our protest at Boeing that Wednesday, week after the law was introduced, and I held a sign that said, "From the river to the sea, Brisbane will be free of Boeing." No mention of Palestine or anything else, or troubles in the Middle East. Just that we wanted to close down Boeing. So police came after Boeing rang them, or the people that managed the building rang them, and I was arrested. The police tried to get me to make some sort of connection with Palestine or whatever else. And I said, they asked me, "What's the sign mean?" I said, "Well, from the river over there, we're in the distance there, a few hundred metres away, all the way to the ocean, we want to get rid of Boeing out of Brisbane and all the other arms dealers. I should go back to hell where they came from." And anyhow, and then he said, "Well, do you know when it was originally used, this saying?" I said, "Oh, probably 1,000 years ago when they invented English. Someone said, I'm going to take my canoe from the river to the sea." So anyhow, that was that. And then he arrested me, they took me up to the police station, and then the anti-terrorism squad had their turn then, interviewing me. And similarly, they tried to get me to make some sort of connection with Palestine. It's like the thought police, if you're thinking the wrong thought, you're guilty, I guess. But if you're, just saying something that's not connected to their thought crimes of supporting Palestine or opposing Israeli genocide, then it might be harder to convict you. Anyhow, we did end up talking a little bit about war and peace and all that sort of stuff and the troubles in the Middle East with the anti-terrorism squad for half an hour or so. And then they released me and told me to come back to court in a couple of weeks later. And that's which I did. That started the process that I've been involved in.
As we just discussed, that's been adjourned. It was adjourned last week till December, until they get sort of some idea or some judgment from the High Court. The big question there is whether the High Court will accept it or not. And if they don't accept it, to be determined, well, then it goes through its normal process, which it could be doing anyhow, like we said. Maybe that's why they adjourned it, because someone has filed it and filed a notice of a constitutional matter, and maybe they've just adjourned it on that basis alone. But we'll soon find out anyhow, at some stage in the future. Just one question. Israel supporters like to argue, and you've probably given it some thought, they like to argue that there's no genocide going on in Gaza. But if there's no genocide, they don't dispute the 20,000 children being killed. If there's no genocide, how do they justify the 20,000 children being killed? There is no justification.
Collateral damage, I guess. No, well, everyone's justified the slaughter of children with the term collateral damage, They've just demolished the whole of Gaza, basically, and made everyone homeless and slaughtered, like to say, 20,000 children, maybe 60,000 adults or more. And they're trying to get rid of them, take over the whole area. I mean, that's obvious to anyone who's got any sort of open mind. If that's not genocide, I don't know what is.
That's
for sure.
Tying that back to what you've said in your charge, it's very blatant, obvious to me, and I'm sure many others, that they're linked. They're trying to silence people in Australia from criticising Israel and the genocide. Is that how you see it?
Definitely. There's, it's not a conspiracy theory to know that there's a massive Israeli lobby around the world funding support for Israel. It's not a conspiracy. It's just a fact. It's an obvious fact. And what they're doing is trying to influence politicians to stop any support of Palestine. And to do so, they've brought in this ridiculous law, which equates support of Palestine with anti-Semitism. And nobody goes around saying, you know, we support Palestine, we hate Jews. If the state of Israel is separate to the Jewish religion and the Jewish people, the state of Israel is a state that everyone opposes or opposes their actions in relation to Palestine and their genocidal actions. So the Israeli lobby has spent massive amounts of money influencing politicians and other people to believe that support of Palestine is anti-Semitism, which is, you know, obviously ridiculous. The same people who are opposing the genocide in Palestine would be the same sort of people who would oppose the Nazi genocide in Germany, in my opinion. And the people that are supporting it would be the same sort of people who will be loyal to the government of Germany, you know. That's the way I see it.
And for taking a stand, you're looking down the barrel of a 2-year jail sentence, and 20 other odd people are too. They arrested someone else. Was it last week or the week before? It was last week, I think it is. Another lady got arrested. Was saying the same thing.
Yeah, she went to a court case for someone else. I think it was Sam Watson. She went to his court case and got arrested for was wearing a T-shirt or holding a sign. Yeah, she was actually one of the flotilla people who was arrested and tortured in Israel a month or two ago. Yeah.
From what the paper said, she said from river to the sea in an educational sort of discussion manner, but then she said it again in a more protest manner, and that's when they arrested her. That's based on what the paper said. I'm not too sure.
Right. Yeah, I never read that, but yeah, it's probably right.
Paper,
yeah,
the internet. But look, we'll keep. I'll keep on staying informed with where you're at. That could be December. You might have to show up again for another mention, or could be before that if they get some sort of decision from the High Court one way or another. My personal viewpoint is probably a good chance. They say it's a good chance that the High Court won't hear it. They'll say to follow its normal process, won't have it removed. And if that happens, it might be sooner. If not, if they do decide to hear it, well, then it could be another year or more. Who knows?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, could drag on for a long time. Yeah. Could
No
be more arrests before then.
Yeah, could be. No worries. Thanks for your time, Jimmy.
No worries, Shane. Thank you.
And I'm an independent journalist, and I'm 100% crowdfunded from viewers like yourself. And I've been running a campaign to help raise funds to make sure I can keep on doing the work I do, writing articles for the Kangaroo Court of Australia website, and publishing videos for the Kangaroo Court of Australia YouTube channel. So please support that if you can. The details will be below this video on YouTube. And please do your bit and help shine a light on corruption and share this video on social media. And please hit the like and subscribe button and notification button on YouTube. That way you get notified when I publish new videos. Other than that, thank you for your time and have a good day.